Speaking of improv, actually, Allison, there's something I wanted to ask from you. I was mentioning this yesterday. I know you've talked on Twitter about the stocking the fridge metaphor for doing improv, and I mentioned it briefly at the end of yesterday's shift, just because I've been thinking about that as I've been on camera this week.
Oh, yeah.
Do you want to give Chad a rundown on what that is and how it works in improv?
Yeah, sure. So it's a improvisational tool, as well as kind of just like a general good storytelling tool. The way that I like to approach improv, like as a professional, your goal should always be to make your audience feel like a genius. So if you can make your audience feel like they're the smartest people around because they figured out something or they can see what they think you're going to do, it makes them feel super smart and really invested in whatever you're doing. And so one of the tools that I like to teach people to use when creating unscripted plays or unscripted shows is the idea of stocking the fridge. So when we're beginning, say, a new scene or like an hour and a half long play, we don't have anything in the fridge yet. The fridge is empty. And we can think of ingredients kind of like ideas that go inside of that fridge. And so in the first 5 minutes of a show that's going to last for a long time, or if we're in the first couple minutes of a longer scene, we can think of every unique new idea that's brought up as an ingredient for that fridge. So for example, if there's two characters and one of them comes on mentioning oh man, I got this interview coming up later today and I'm super stressed because I need to go to the pharmacy on the other side of town. We already know that 3 ingredients in the fridge are interview, pharmacy, long drive, or other side of town. And so as you stock the fridge, there's just more ideas that are going into that. And once you've reached maybe 10 or 15 minutes into the show, you stop adding stuff to the fridge. And it's your job to make sandwiches out of all those ingredients that you just put in. And so if you ever find yourself stuck trying to come up with something, you just metaphorically open up the fridge and see if there's a cool idea in there that you can mash together with another cool idea and make a sandwich. And that's kind of the secret sauce for never, ever getting stuck in improv scenes ever again, because you've given yourself all the tools to build yourself out. And as soon as you open up the fridge and you mention one of those things from earlier, your audience will recognize it and remember it and feel more invested. Oh yeah, I remember the pharmacy. Yeah, I was wondering what was going to happen with that long drive to the other side of town. And the real secret sauce is you save one thing from the very, very beginning that was particularly absurd all the way until the very end. Bring that out and your audience feels super smart. So that's the fridge.
That's amazing. Thank you so much for sharing that. That's an incredibly useful tool. I've definitely found myself even subconsciously doing that.
Exactly.
When I'm doing these streams.
Yeah, I noticed Chad is mentioning Chekhov's gun. Yeah, it's a tool. But the trick, though, is that your audience can't tell when something is Chekhov's gun when everything is a gun. If you treat everything as a tool, then you're not saving it as one secret thing. Instead, you're just using all of the ideas that you've established in the scene already.
Yeah,
nice.
I've heard it described as loading Chekhov's gun. Yeah.
Okay.
But I like the fridge metaphor better because I like cooking.
Fridges are delicious, and everyone loves sandwiches. Yeah.
Oh, well done. That is very nice, and I will take that and keep it in my heart forever.
Yeah, I love chatting about improv theory and storytelling.
You and I are going to get along real well.